Hello everybody, this is me, Ilhabel724, and today's video is about answering your question. This video was originally planned as a celebration video for 20,000 subscribers on my channel, but it was delayed due to some personal problems. But without any further interruptions, let's get started. Unfortunately, I don't have any photos of my old marks or the first mock ever, because I was young and wasn't that interested in making backups for my project. And when Mac pages suddenly disappeared, I lost almost everything I had from my old projects. But I do have some photos I recently discovered on my old flashcard. So here are some of my oldest creations. It's not much, but I'm really happy that I found these pictures. I like the idea of making a site better and would like to do something like this in future, but for now I'm more focused on alternatives and designing new marks. Usually I start with a rough outline of basic features of a car I'm trying to make, and then I test if I can replicate these features with parts provided. And then I start to build the vehicle. If I can't replicate those features, I usually abandon the project because otherwise the mark will be too ugly. I do in fact have some other hobbies than just Legos. I also love to build PCs and quite experienced in restoring old game consoles. Other than that, I also enjoy riding a bicycle. I don't think I was the first one to do an alternative where I use one real-life car to build another real-life car, but I kinda made it my priority when designing an alternative, because I'm not a big fan of building something that can be compared to a real-life object, and I think that is what is making me stand out from the rest of the champions or alternative designers. I think the main reason because I started to build cars only is the media. At the time I started to build, I became a big fan of Need for Speed series and movies such as Fast and Furious. And because of those movies and games, I decided to build more cars than something else. When I was younger, I didn't have much Lego at home, and most of the time I was building using the limited amount of bricks I had. So, when I got some creator sets which were designed to be rebuilt, and using my previous experiences I learned while using limited amount of bricks, I started to make more alternatives, and eventually I started to post them on sites such as mock pages and Rebricable. An interesting question. I usually build the set first to get more familiar with the parts it has, and then I use these parts and the knowledge I got to build something out of this. Thanks for so many questions. First, I like all my builds, all the new, no matter how bad they might look or how good. They're just showing how my skills are getting better and better over the time, and there are a lot of designers I enjoy and always looking forward to see their new marks or alternative builds. You can just check channels I recommend on YouTube, or you can check the people I follow on Instagram. Those are designers I really enjoy and looking forward to see their new work. Despite my channel being only about speed champions and sometimes about technical alternatives, I'm a big fan of Bionicles. So I have a giant collection of Bionicles, I know the lore and everything. So yeah, these speed champions are not the only theme I like when it comes to Lego. And I also love city, space, and some other classical themes that Lego has to offer. I'm not planning to expand any further because I really enjoy things as they are, and I also really enjoy doing it all myself. Why do I enjoy this? Because I learned a lot of new things while I started my Lego channel and posting marks. I learned how to make good photography, learned how to shoot videos, edit them, learned how to manage YouTube channel, and I did it all by myself, and I kind of really enjoy it to learn new things and learn them myself. Yeah, it's a bit harder, and I can't do much content when I'm just alone, but I still enjoy doing it. I think there are two ways to learn some new techniques or find them is to build, just build. Or if you are new and don't know any techniques yet, I think the best thing you could do is to watch others and try to copy or try to modify the technique they used, and it helps a lot. The Lego community is a giant community, and there are a lot of builds already made by the community, so it's okay to just look at someone else's work and try to make it better and learn some new techniques on the way. And of course, the second way is to just try to invent some new techniques. Of course, it takes a lot more time, and you need to know what bricks are you using, how flexible they are, what can you use them for. Yeah, it takes a lot more time. So yeah, if you are new to building Lego, I kind of suggest you to go with the first variant and try to copy and then modify someone else's technique. Just don't forget to leave some kind of credit for the designer. Lego Speed Champions already have a lot of interesting brands used in the team, but personally I would like to see more Italian cars, like for example something from Alfa Romeo or Maserati, as the other non-Lego brands already have the licenses for these cars, and it's kinda lame that Lego doesn't use them. I also would like to see more like Japanese cars. This is kind of cool because we don't have any Honda sets, and I would really like to see a Honda NSX, both new and old, in a form of a set. Also, speaking about European brands, I think it would be really cool to see some Volvo cars. And they also have some cars that can be considered speed champions and not just some traffic boring cars. Think it's a pretty relatable question, as it's a bit hard sometimes when you're designing a mock and it doesn't get as much attention as you want. I think every people who design and built and posted it somewhere on the internet have encountered this thing that you build something, spend time on it, and then it just doesn't get attention it deserves as you think. So yeah, sometimes it gets pretty frustrating, and building some things is getting a bit hard because like you starting to think, will it blow up or it gonna flop, and you just spend some many time on designing this thing, building this thing, making photos, making videos, making instructions, and it just doesn't get any attention at all. So yeah, honestly, just sometimes frustrates me, and still with the Lego community I still kind of motivated to continue my journey to build better things, to build more complex things. So thank you very much for your support. Of course, my family supports me in this hobby, and they understand it, and they see what am I building, and they know what am I building, and I'm very happy to sometimes share what I've built recently with them because they are pretty understandable about that hobby, pretty supportive. I don't know where you can buy them for dirty cheap, but still, when it comes to buying parts for my future projects or for the Macs, I usually buy them on Bricklink. You can also use Brickall and compare the prices between different shops, but still, most of the shops they have like a second shop on the Brickall, so the prices are almost the same. Yeah, you can save a few cents, but I don't think there's a huge matter between two platforms, and that you can save a lot more money. Yeah, you can also try buying some Chinese old brand bricks. There are a lot of brands that are selling Lego brick, copy of the Lego bricks. If you're okay with buying some Chinese bricks, there are a lot of cheaper. I did some combiner builds before using Jaguar 2-pack set, but for now I decided to not to use this idea anymore because it's a bit hard to manage, and most of the people just don't want to disassemble the second car to just have one car from two cars. So I'm not planning to do any like combiner sets when you use two sets to build one car, or when you use two cars from one set to build one car, because it's a bit hard to manage. My Champions collection is not that big, it only consists of 12 sets, 8 sets I use for alternative builds, and some of them I keep on display, and 10 mocks that I built over the time. Yeah, it's not that much, but in future I might try to record a video with showcasing my collection. Overall, I'm a big fan of unusual and obscure cars. I also love like regular ones, but I'm just a big fan of building something that just doesn't have much attention in real life compared to the other cars. Like for example, my key car series builds, or if you think about it, some of my cars that I've built before, like for example a Mercedes Pagoda or the latest Mark Honda Civic C I made some weeks ago. I do have some photos of my first ever alternatives builds I made from creator sets, and I also have some photos for my P Champions alternatives, my first P Champions alternatives. So yeah, just take a look. I think my favorite alternative for 76908 is Unix ZX. I just really love it, how it turned out and how smooth that model is. None of my alternative builds should be an official set because they use pretty different techniques compared to LEGO Speed Champion sets, and because of it that my techniques are not that sturdy compared to LEGO techniques. None could be the official sets because you need to modify them in order to make them sturdy enough to be the sets. And for the last, I decided to kind of combine all these questions into one ultimate question, which goes like, will you build an X car from Y set? So yeah, I know that there are a lot of comments like this under all my videos where you ask to build me a car using the set or just build a car using any set. The thing is, I'm really grateful for all these suggestions, as sometimes I use them ideas when I don't know what else to build, but there are just too many suggestions. I'm trying to release a mock every 5 to 7 days, and it's just 4 or 5 mocks per month and just over 50 marks per year. So it's not much, and there are a lot of suggestions, and I feel a bit frustrated when I don't have time to fulfill all your suggestions or build all the cars you like to. Sometimes I also cannot do a suggestion because the car is just would be not that good when you build it from a set, and so yeah, I just grab the project and forget about it. But still, thank you very much for all your suggestions. They mean much to me because they are always help me to get new ideas and make some ideas from the community. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's not that long and there were not so many questions, but still I appreciate every question and appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for helping me reaching this number, a pretty big number, just 20,000 subscribers. You think it's not much, but for me it's a lot. Thank you very much once again, and I hope you're having a great day. So see you next video.